What's going on, guys? Overman back again, and there's quite a few games that are coming out here in the spring, but without a doubt, the game that I'm most looking forward to is Doom. Now, don't get it twisted, I'm not saying that this game is going to be the next big thing, or I'm not telling you to go buy it day one or to pre-order it. Hell, I'm not even telling you that this game is going to be good. I'm just letting you guys know why I'm excited for Doom and why you may want to keep this game on your radar. But without further ado, let's get into it. So my first reason is that it's not a military shooter. Now, I don't have anything against military shooters, I actually like the idea of them, but I really feel like this subgenre has been done to death, and unfortunately, it's rarely done correctly either. I do like guns like the AK-47 and the P90, but after a while, you want something else, something different, you know? And that's where Doom comes in, because Doom has some pretty awesome guns. Sure, some of them are based in reality, like the fan favorite Super Shotgun, but there's other guns like the Plasma Rifle and the Lightning Gun that are pretty over the top. And that's something I look forward to. I'm getting tired of these mundane and safe guns in a lot of shooters these days, and I'm hoping that these over-the-top weapons in Doom bring back some variety in the genre. Another good thing about this not being a military shooter is that we can fight enemies that aren't normal foot soldiers. I think that's one thing that keeps a lot of these FPS campaigns feeling so boring. You fight the same enemies over and over again in the same settings. Like, how many times have you been told that you need to clear out a building filled with enemy soldiers or terrorists? And the only way that games like those ever change things up is by putting you on a turret or something so that you can mow down some bad guys a little bit faster than you normally do. Or every once in a while your squad leader will say some shit like, "Ramirez, you gotta take out the tank so we can move up." And a lot of times these games try to be somewhat realistic, so you can only take a couple of bullets before you have to take cover to realistically regenerate some health so that you can pop back out, pew pew at the bad guys, and then they'll pew pew at you, and that'll go on until you finally clear out that small army of bad guys so that you can watch a cutscene and do it all over again. But that's not the case with Doom. In Doom, you run up to a demon, shove your shotgun in his dirty ass mouth, and then blow his fucking head off. And I like that. And speaking of what I like, the second reason that I'm excited for Doom is the pacing. And I'm not just talking about the crazy walk speed that Doom has in comparison to other games, I'm talking about how this game just thrusts you into the action. When you start up Doom 2, you walk around the corner, pick up the chainsaw, and immediately start slicing motherfuckers up, whereas in other games you generally start with a cutscene, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's also pretty cool to have a game that skips all of that and drops you straight into some over-the-top action. And the thing about Doom's pacing is that it keeps you on the move because you don't have regenerating health. You'll have to pick up all of your health and armor. You can't just sit behind cover and regenerate it. Now, I'm not saying that regenerating health is a bad thing, because there are upsides to having regenerating health in your game, but the fact that pretty much every other shooter has that mechanic, it's nice to see something different for a change. And maybe you've sensed a theme here. Anyways, the third reason that I'm excited for Doom is that there won't be some lame ass story. You know, I'll be the first to tell you, I like it when games have a good story. Most of my favorite games of all time have good stories, but the thing that I've noticed in the shooter genre is that they try to do a story and then they fail miserably. Call of Duty and Battlefield are examples of this. They have these generic ass stories that just really aren't worth the time, and they don't enhance the experience like they're supposed to. They make it worse most of the time. But that's not the case with Doom. Doom is light on the story and heavy on the action, which could be fun so long as the action is good. Now, the fourth reason why I'm excited for Doom is the level design. What do I mean by that? Well, you see, with most modern FPS, the levels are pretty straightforward. You kill the bad guys, move up, rinse, and repeat. But Doom's level design is much more maze-like. You're not gonna just be moving forward, you're gonna have to kill the baddies while navigating through the maze to make it to the next level. And within these maze-like levels, you have the opportunity to find secrets like really badass weapons or some much needed health and armor after a tough fight. And those secrets add something to each level to make them feel unique, which is pretty cool. And this is actually something that Doom 3 struggled with. They kind of fucked up the level design. Well, they didn't kind of fuck it up, they did fuck it up. They made it way too linear and it was just not a Doom game. But anyways, I don't know if you guys remember this, but back in the day when I was a kid, I would talk to my friends at school about certain games, and a lot of times you might ask someone, "Hey, how'd you beat that level?" But you would never ask that question about an FPS these days because anyone can figure it out. It's obvious, and you're never gonna really have any difficulty with figuring out how to make it through the level because they're so straightforward. And I'm not saying that every game should be a puzzle, but I do really miss that in games, and kinda like with the regenerating health thing, I'm looking forward to seeing something different. Now, number 5 may very well be the most important reason on this list, because I see a lot of games these days that forget to put in a special ingredient: fun. Like, so many games these days are trying to be a second job instead of a video game. So many games are trying to be the next addiction instead of a video game, and I'm kind of sick of it. I don't mind loot and rewards and trying to keep your player base engaged in a game for an extended period of time, but I'm tired of them doing all of that and forgetting about one of the most important parts of gaming. Those of you familiar with Destiny might remember back in the House of Wolves, shotguns were really good in PvE because they buffed them. Well, during the Taken King, Bungie decided to nerf them in PvE to the point where they were just about as useless as they were before the buff. And the thing is, no one said that shotguns were overpowered in PvE, and no one asked for shotguns to be nerfed aside from that section of the community that obviously hates fun. And if that's you, that's fine, stay ass over there, because Doom is not about restricting you or making sure that enemies take a million shots just to put down. Doom is about fun. And I'm not saying that this game is gonna be amazing, or a 10 out of 10, or a game of the year or anything like that, but barring some unforeseen, monumental fuck up, Doom should be fun, at the very least. But that's it for this one, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not feeling too shy, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Doom. Are you excited for it or nah? And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, be sure to hit that subscribe button and follow me on Twitter. Link will be in the description box below. That's it for me though, guys. Over, mean.